Hi, I'm Kris from Theme Park to Table, cooking up theme park recipes here in my kitchen. Today we're continuing with our 12 days of theme park treats. Today we're working on day 5. We're doing some Mickey Shortbread, which can be found basically everywhere. The recipe I found said specifically Disneyland and didn't really have a location. Basically, sounds like you can get them just about anywhere in Disneyland. So to start off, all this stuff is going to be done back here at the mixer. So let's move on back here. As with any shortbread, we need a lot of butter. So we're going to start by creaming our butter. I have unsalted, as always. When baking, I also have a piece of paper that just jumped in. That will not be a good part of Mickey. Let's keep all that out. I have left my butter out to soften. That is an important step. It will not cream if it is rock hard. I probably should have pre-opened this because this is taking much longer than I thought it would, but live and learn. Once we get all these sticks open, there we go. We're going to actually pop the powdered sugar right in, it says. Typically when I do this, I would have hit the butter a little bit first, but this recipe says all in, so that's what we're doing. I'll put this, we'll use that for garbage. I'm gonna drop this down. We're gonna start off low and slow, probably still gonna shoot powdered sugar everywhere. We got a little puff. As that is going, it needs to get to light and fluffy, so I'm gonna let you guys kind of watch as it starts incorporating. We're gonna slowly increase the speed. The stiffness is actually causing my bowl to spin and unlock. That's why I keep grabbing it. And we're gonna go a little farther. Maybe a little less far. Oh, there it goes. I want to fling butter and sugar at you guys. It's like a 3D cooking show right now. It's coming right at your face. And we're going to go even higher. And we're going to go one more step up in a second to really get this cream together and light and fluffy. Look at that thing go. We're just going to give this a little hand so it doesn't take off like a rocket ship. Okay. Now to that, we're going to add egg whites, vanilla extract, and orange zest. Straight in. And now once again, we're going to drop this down. I'm actually going to use my scraper, I think, first and just kind of push some of the stuff that's stuck up on the edges into the bowl. Give it a chance to incorporate a little bit better. And that little back corner. Okay. Put that right there for now. And then it says we're going to do this on medium. So let's get us back up to medium again. And if you can, it's kind of separating from the egg whites, so we're going to kind of let that go until the egg whites are incorporated. So give it a couple seconds to come back together again. We're starting to come together. I can't really tell if I'm on medium or not because I've got it faced away from me so you guys can kind of see into the bowl. So I'm going to give it one more step up just to kind of get it to come together. Get some of the stuff pushed down and in. We're going to give it a good scrape too before we add the flour. Okay. I don't really see any more egg whites kind of floating around in there. It's kind of all one big solid clump now. I'm going to pull this out just for a second, just so I can see this side of the bowl and give it a scrape. The angle I'm working on makes it a little difficult. And now we're going to start adding the flour in slowly. So we're just going to go like this. We're going to add a little bit in. And then we're going to mix it. Flockas. Once again, when you add flour, you want to start off slow because it's going to poof no matter what. That way it kind of mitigates a little bit of the poofing action. Then as it incorporates, you're just going to kind of add a little bit more in. As it gets stiffer, you'll really be able to start hearing my mixer working hard. Add a little bit more in. Okay, I'm going to keep going. And now we're just going to try to just get the rest of this in there. Just a little tiny bit left that doesn't want to come out of the bottom of the bowl. There we go. I'll turn this up just a little tiny bit to get the rest of that flour kind of worked in there. I think we're almost there though. Get a little bit of flour off the side of the mixer that I flung everywhere. I'm sure I'm probably wearing a fair share of it as well. I'm going to scrape this down and then just let it finish up the mix process because we're ending up with a lot right up on the side. And I want to make sure everybody is mixed well. We're just going to go like this. I'm going to give it a little bit of speed. Shortbread is generally a pretty dry dough. It causes it to kind of bake up light and fluffy, as does all that butter we put in there. I think that's about as much as my mixer can handle. So we're gonna pull this. I'm gonna kind of try to get this all out of the mixer. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to pop this off, which will let me scrape it a little bit more uniformly. Also allow me to fling some more flour everywhere. I mean, half the fun of baking is to clean up afterwards, right? I mean, okay. So that is pretty scraped. Set that right there. I'm gonna bring this bowl back around to the front side. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna kind of give this a little fold. I'm gonna dump this out onto a big piece of plastic wrap, form it into a disc, and then it has to go in the refrigerator for about 2 hours to get set up before it's ready to be baked. So I will see you back here in a couple hours when our dough is ready for the oven. Welcome back. Our shortbread is ready to be Mickey-fied. I've taken a part of the dough from the log and I've put it on a floured cutting board. I'm gonna flour my rolling pin and then we're gonna roll these guys out to about 1/4 inch thick. I might still have too much dough here for the size of my cutting board, but it's a more reasonable amount than what I started with, that's for sure. It's just, oh, stay there, Mickey. We're gonna need you in a minute, buddy. Get this all rolled out. The dough smells really good. We're looking for about 1/4 inch thick. Sometimes I feel like I should have a ruler because I don't know how good I am at really 1/4 inch, but I think the most important part is making sure that your dough is even from center to edges, so you don't end up with some thick parts and some thin parts of cookies. We're gonna stop there. We're gonna make sure Mickey has some flour on him. We don't want him to stick. And then we're gonna start cutting out samosas. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees behind me. I have a cookie sheet here that's lined with parchment paper. And let's see how many of these guys are gonna fit. I don't wanna crush them too close together because I don't know how much they're gonna spread. think I'm going to stop at 4 and not get too adventurous. These guys have to go into the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes, and then they're going to go into the oven for 17 to 20. So I'm going to put them in the freezer, and then I'll get them into the oven, and when they're good and golden brown and ready to come out, I'll meet you back here. Welcome back. Our Mickey Shortbreads are nice and done, and we're going to pull them out of the oven. Look how nice those look. Here, let me spin them so you guys can see them. Nice and golden brown around the edge. It's exactly what you want for a shortbread. When you push on them, no give. Those are perfection. So the next step in our process is these have to cool completely. When I meet you back here, these will be completely cooled. I'll have some white chocolate melted, and we're going to actually dip them into some white chocolate and get them all ready to be presented. So I'll see you in probably about half an hour or so. Welcome back. Our Mickey Mouse Shortbread is thoroughly cooled. I have my chocolate melted as promised, and we're just going to get these guys a coat on the top of them of some white chocolate. Just going to kind of use a spoon, a little swirl action. I want to try to keep it on the actual cookie. And pop that side down. Just going to kind of swirl them on here. In the parks, they're served just like this without anything else. But I think I'm going to dress them up with a few sprinkles. Because why not, right? I feel like Mickey needs to be a little fancier than just plain white chocolate on him. Mickey deserves it. Okay. You're going to notice too that when I left you last, I had 4 Mickeys on my tray, and now 5 Mickeys have appeared. I rearranged the cookies in the tray because there are 5 of us in the house, and I figured this way there's one for everybody. So that's where the 5th Mickey cookie came from. And our last guy for chocolate. And we're looking pretty even. Now I'm just going to grab some sprinkles. I think I'm going to stick with this type over the sugar type because I'm not sure how the sugar will do in the chocolate. So we're just going to throw a few little pretty colored balls on this. We'll do a couple with this blend. And then I have a blend that's a little different, and we'll do a couple of that. And then, let's see if we can get this open. There we go. That's very full. So a couple of these ones. And then we'll do one that's half and half, we'll say. And there you have it. Mickey Mouse Shortbread cookies. So I can spin this without sending all the sprinkles everywhere so you guys can see them. There we go, kind of, sort of. If you like this recipe, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.